But so that you know you have a mandate, open a separate account so that you see your money. The moment you see your money as only 100,000 or your money as 400,000, I'm sure you're going to pick. But if the money is together, these days you use your money and you have trouble.
Actually, that is a phase we were in, of having a separate account from the ROBA account. But remember, it involves registration of a new entity. Or we look at the options within our regulations, if we can use the same certificate but have a separate account with that. So I think we'll be guided.
That is possible.
It's possible.
It is possible.
It is possible.
Madam President.
But then I think
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah, because opening account is not the issue. The issue is just getting.
So that we transfer those people, those whatever.
Yeah, it is not so much. You have said somebody may think we have so much that we are just keeping end of. It is only 36 by 2. So
It's money.
that is
It's money.
70.
But that's money.
It's money.
That's a lot of money.
Anyway, okay. The next thing, the members of the committee, Mr. Gifford is here, Secretary SG is here, FS is here. They have heard all this, and Engineer Pan is online. I believe they can also hear that you people are giving us mandate. And I'm happy that today we are going to get more people registering, so that when we start, now we move together. And actually, it is not going to take time, because if you remember, we were to have a meeting for the members on the 8th, okay? But because we had not floated our intentions, we did not make it start, okay? So the whole thing here is, at that meeting we'll decide on what we are investing in on a serious note. If you people feel the land bit might be a very long thing, that we need something which is bringing us money immediately, then we'll get to that and see how much money do we need to invest in that, and then members will be tasked to start doing what? Putting in their money. Okay? Another thing which is important is we have an appeal from the institution, that is the school. That they really wish to have a facelift of the school in terms of the gate and the front wall fronting the tarmac road, the main road. And they are appealing to us as the alumni if we can help them do that. Construction of the gate and wall on this one line facing the road. Then the rest they will take up. I think it comes with some serious budget. It is not very little. But I trust as members we can help them to do part of it, if we are willing. That will come under one of our core responsibilities, or what brought us together. We know many alumni who have done so much for their institutions. Okay? So it is a request from the chief principal, and here it is open for you people to give it a thought if it is something that we can help the school to achieve. So, Mr. President, throwing back to you to expound more to your members to see if there is something we can do.
Thank you very much, RMS. I think that move us to the solution from the reports. Would have preferred if whoever's given report gives what they want the membership to pass. But I would reinforce on that new thing which arose about entrance gate here as a contribution we can do to the school. As I was coming in the morning, I passed Obey Boys. And coincidentally, I saw like they have redone their entrance gate, which is quite a statement. And even in my mind, it was that maybe we also need to upgrade. Then I did go those sides.
And the Agoro survey was done by an old student.
Sorry, you don't go?
The Agoro survey was done by alumni. One of the alumni was the one who contributed for the Agoro survey gate.
Only one.
Yeah.
I remember Phil Masori also contributed.
The problem
He
is,
was the one who initiated the project.
or maybe it's the one who was the face who was talking. But then I learned that when RINGA did this, most schools have not done it. And it was done by an earlier corporate association which did not take root. But they are also part of us here, some of them. So it may be high time we upgraded that. We could do these things in stages to make it affordable. I don't know whether all of us are from Nyanza, but we have a saying that it is the light basket that you can use, that you can carry when you are running away from the rain. Otherwise, the rain will beat you. Will beat you. It's a direct translation. Yeah. So we could, the frontage can be put in tranches, purchased and done over the years. Make it in a way that is workable. Like remember, Dongo is saying, Agoro have done the gate. Maybe the guys came together and did the gate, but the most statement first is the gate we could upgrade it. But that is also linkage to what Isdo said, I think, and Boaz. I think they were passionate on this investment because it also reaches a time where, as much as you can be philanthropic, you feel that it's becoming too much. But if there is some income coming, then you're ready to do. And some members, as Boaz said, have not registered because they're waiting to see. There are some people who want to see when a bus is leaving the stage. That's when they are sure that it's safe. You can pass Sondu safely, then they're bored. But before somebody pass, they have no. So we could also reinforce on that. So I think those would be my addition. Another report we give was that today we'll appreciate some members. We have two categories members that we'll appreciate. There are those who are offering their services as official, but there are those who are also not officials but have been dedicated in service to ROBA. Like Japheth realized not an official, but it's helped us a lot within Nyanza region. Whenever we are not able to make it to an event, we just get fare kidogo, then it's available to send to Dan, send to Principal Chief Principal Austin. So he said we will appreciate them with a certificate, give them to the other members who have not come here. Even Teddy, if Teddy does not charge us the market rate for offering the service, is part of that contribution as well. Like even what he's doing here today, if he was to charge us per market, it would have been high. And we do this, we consider it dedication by a number of times somebody has been doing this. You don't do it once and you expect to get certificate. It has to be a dedication. So that is the which we'll give in here. So with that, I would go to agenda, to part 10, before we come back to 8. And I would want us to be as brief as possible because time is also now gone. People are hungry as much as there may be snacks here to keep energy levels up. So on resolutions, there was no regional report, so there is no resolution outreach which members need to pass. On last expense, there is none as well. It's been confirmed by the presenter, Secretary General, that there is no resolution which he wants members to pass. On investment, I think there may be.
Cannot pass it.
Yeah.
It should be passed by only the interested members or the registered
No,
members.
you are resource mobilization secretary.
Mm.
So even what you're presenting, there are some which are going beyond investment.
Mm.
Now the ones beyond investment, what you could, but like now what you elaborated on the gate being done, if members agree, so that what remains is how it is done and mobilizing resources. So could we take it that one resolution passed is that we upgrade the entrance gate to the school? Is there a member with objection?
What could have come first, Mr. President? Cost analysis. What do you want to upgrade particularly? So that will involve an engineer to tell us from this point, what do we want? We want like a road, we want like a armor. How much are we going to do? So that when we now say we are renovating this gate, tuko na ile kitu inaitwa budget, yani budget.
I think that's what I said, that
Okay.
I was recommending
Okay.
we pass it in principle, that we are ready to upgrade,
To upgrade.
but subject to details being worked on in terms of design, in terms of costing, in terms of all that. But
I agree.
by heart,
Mhm.
watu wamekubaliana tuko tayari ku upgrade.
I agree.
Then we leave the work to the teams to come up with those pictures.
I think to be more clear, so we talk about the gate first. We leave about the fence.
Correct. Actually, I've talked about the gate. We upgrade the gate entrance.
Maybe just a top-up,
Yes.
we can use the same forum to lobby, because I know people, politicians, be like him or the other big people. I've seen our deputy governor should be partially registered, which I think is a mistake. We can also lobby this up if they can join us, or maybe push on a bit in terms of bringing this. I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. I'm saying that this question usually of the egg or chicken first is a complex matter. I've said those are details of implementing it, but we agree that we are upgrading. That's what we passed here. Details will be presented to the assembly.
Later.
Those are ways of mobilizing resources once we will know how it is done. Second, that was a thing welfare. Second, which I also picked from investment report, though as much as it is subject to those who are registered, but opening an account specifically for investment. I think that should be a resolution that is clear and should pass. Is there any other investment which you think? I think I picked those two ones particularly. I believe those are the two. Then on the welfare, I picked three things. One is that for the membership, working on a modalities of a hybrid program with last expense and how we can be social beings who will feel that we are part of each other. So So I believe that can also be a resolution passed that we let the committees work on the nitty-gritties, the welfare, like if it was saying probably be working on that minimum contribution, how much is it, how will it be implemented?
To build intimacy.
Yes.
When members have a problem.
Correct.
It should not be seen left.
Correct.
Emotionally, socially,
Correct.
we are there.
So there were various proposals on that. There was maybe contribution. So the details we can work on, but it's been agreed as a resolution in principle. The other resolution is welfare to students, on which we also pass in principle that we support the exam between now to when candidates are doing the exams. The one clear one was on the full test cost 20,000. So 4 tests will cost 80,000. So do we agree in principle we support them? How are we going to support it? Resource mobilization is that we work on. Fine. Then what? Yeah, there is also awards to students that we work on. We work on award options which can be given to students. Again, we can work on the details. Said on that. There's one I was forgetting on the investment. I like the proposal Isto said that you can even lend money, you can create a facility and generate income. And on that, we're not having regular revenue. So as exec, given this long time, we even devised ways on how you can generate income. You can have facilities long as the structure is new on that. And on that, I would also wanted us to approve in principle that executive is allowed to work on modalities on how you can be creating, even from registration amount, creating some income to enable things run, and whatever we had done also previously is considered is adopted at the assembly. Is there any objection? Thank you. So I would say those are the resolutions. The SG will cover them effectively. And then these awards, which I would say we give to members. It's also considered to have an award system also to members who are dedicated, either in service or in can contribute things in kind. By the way, even when we come to that gate, if you are an engineer, you may offer that your service. If you're an architect, you can do a design. Actually, I understood that design was done by a former student who did it. Yeah. If you are in construction, I can just, once you detail that, I can give you the qualification, how much it costs, my contribution, because I would have ordinarily charge you. So we can also consider contributions in kind, yes. If you are a constructor, probably you can agree contractor for if the pillars require me, I'll offer to do the pillars. Maybe cheaper, you doing it that way than contributing your money. So those options. So thank you. With that, we say again, number 10, the program is sorted. I'll take us back to 8, and I will ask FS to be as brief as possible. As internal audit also prepares on 11, because we're behind and we need to clear this and see that.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I have shared copies of the proposed budget for adoption and approval at the AGM. Anyone missing? All right, I'll take a very short time, and we sat down as the executive. We looked at the trends. Ideally, the proposal should indicate the trend, maybe a 5 or a 3-year trend. And that's the figures on column 1, that is the actual that you've spent. in the past few years, the total as presented earlier in the statement of financial, in the financial statement. Now, we looked at the trends, what each and every budgetary line has required, and that's the column 2. The average is for the period that ROBA has been in existence. And then the last column is now what we are proposing. As required, I need to read line by line, but only for the last column. I don't know whether that will still be okay for each and every person to read for himself. I give a summary.
I think I would say, yeah, just give summary.
So for revenue, we are proposing 2.282. For operating expenses, we are proposing 194,900 based on what we have incurred in the past. For members' welfare, we are proposing 720,000 for 2023-2024. For school development expenses, before today we were proposing 550,000. I don't know whether it may go up. Students' welfare, 166,000. 512,800 on page 2. And lastly, for the annual general meeting expenses, 304,500. So total revenue is the proposed figure is 2,282,200. The breakdown is given at page 1. Total expenses 2,282,200. I submit this to the Assembly for adoption.
Can we adopt for discussion? Proposer? Kefas, we are going for lunch soon.
That's okay.
Don't be in denial. The only man, people are struggling.
Let me propose. Robert has proposed. Seconder?
I second.
Yeah. Gibbon has
I second.
seconded. We can discuss it then.
Yeah.
Anybody with a comment?
Yes, a quick comment
Yes.
on FS. You've looked at the mean of what have happened in the past, and you used to come up with the figures for this year. Did we factor the inflation element and the economics we're going through?
Yes, 10%. Let's use the example of school development.
Yes.
So we have been in existence for over 3 years, and it's only 1 year that we contributed 500,000. So you can see what we've actually spent is 500,000. So the annual is 500,000, what we spent that year. But if you look at the proposed budget, 2023-2024, 550. So for each and every figure, based on the trend, there's a 10%
Thank you.
increment.
Don't belabor it.
His answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other comment? Yes,
Yeah.
Mahal.
I'm looking at the revenue section. I think this, if we go by this revenue ideas only, then it means we are not open to what we are discussing in terms of resource mobilization and etc. I think we need to expand this. We are relying largely on welfare contributions, grants and donations. I was thinking that probably so that we attract more numbers, because membership, you are assuming that we will get approximately 30 new members. What if we reduced, well, that's a difficult thing to say, but what if we reduced the membership fees and introduced subscription? Because I know in other places, those who are in their last years, like the farm force here, they are naturally transitioned into the alumni, and at a very small people, say 500 for those who are leaving, and say 1,000 for people who are out there. So that means you're going to attract numbers. So you get, say, 400-500 people, and then you open it out to people who have already left and reduce that amount, but then introduce annual subscription. Societies, clubs, and etc. everywhere. There is usually an annual subscription. However small it is, it can even be 500. But if it is 500 times so many, you will get more than this 150 with that approach. Same thing we are telling Ruto to reduce some of those taxes, but get more. So I think that will increase.
You're not saying we are like...
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that we need to,
For example,
we need to think outside the box, because if we leave it like this, because this 612, for example, is an in and out. You receive it on last expense, you're supposed to pay it. In fact, I expect to see more here than the expense. The expense is more, so you might need to look at that. You're retaining some small amount, so the income needs to be slightly better. But it is not income, because you just receive it and take it out. This investment registration fees is not income. We will actually send it to the resource mobilization money. If you remove those ones, then you realize you don't have money to spend. So why don't we just think without the box and tell us how we can generate money here, than relying on very easy things. We cannot have an executive who are only thinking about group last expense and etc. for sources of income. Let us think outside the box, increase our revenue base, then we will start talking about the gate and all those other things.
Thank you. But I think it's a good food for thought. We can discuss.
Let me chip in. The chairman, that route, to me, to me, you know, we are here by our own pollution. You know, if you do the subscription here, and you see how getting money is not easy for these people. So it will be more difficult to start asking people every year, this pay, this pay. And that's why, even as we are seeing now, Magonga is a big DG. You only pay 4,000 and disappear. Not that doesn't money. If now people become difficult to be committed. So getting commitment is not easy in having such organization somewhere else. When you ask people to pay every month, it becomes more difficult than even asking to pay once in a year. Those who are collecting money in this our country, know that it's not easy to engage people frequently to get a result. So me, I would still maintain that we need to talk to these people. These are our people. The figure should be one, uniform. If you can manage to get as many as possible, a uniform fee, it's better when people talk from same level. Now we can talk as equal for a longer period of time than asking people to pay 500 this year, every year another unique. I think we might not, and this is another question, it may not, it will divide us in future, probably, or it might unite, I don't know, but the one you have now, according to me, is the best. Let's get as many people who are willing to pay that uniform fee, then we'll talk from there. Those who cannot, we can allow them to pay gradually. We give them time. Like 5,000 is good. So we give you, if you are somebody is leaving school, we give maybe 6 months or 8 months. So we give them more time to actually pick up the required fee as a registration. But if you go the normal yearly subscription, I'm telling you, we're going to be negate what we've done and will bring more problems to our unity and it will help us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other? There's an online member who wants to comment.
You can take the mic.
Thank you, Mr. President. I hope now you can hear me clearly.
Very clearly, because your video is off.
And in fact, and it's windy. So sometimes one disappears with the wind.
Okay.
Thank you for accommodating it now. On whatever the financial area has read, I don't want to use the word proposed, but I think that those are the projections, right? Now, the bulk of whatever you have proposed is in welfare medical or something. I'm simply asking, what are the revenue streams of ROBA, and in that area that you read about 7 or something thousand as expected revenue come expenditure, because I think the revenue was ahead of expenditure by about 200,000. In terms of its revenue projection, what are the revenue streams for ROBA? We have your contributions and issue of membership that we use, so that we are not caught up in a situation where we pass days and end up now. We are proposed days, we have to do them, and we don't have the revenue.
Thank you. I think we can respond to just then we respond to those 4 comments.
I just wanted to do a top-up.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't think
Top up on which proposal?
on the same, because if I look at this, we drain ourselves in terms of finances when we don't have numbers. And I think I wanted this earlier. We get so many people who come out of the school that he produces here that don't join the group, the ROBA. Why? Maybe to me it's lack of information. I met somebody in Kisii who was not even aware of anything. He is not totally. So I think we need to come up with something that makes sure that, these people have information. Because I'll give it out of 10, maybe 4% in terms of information that people have outside. People don't know. They don't know ROBA. I was like, this is a guy I've been dealing with. And I didn't know he was from the same school. So all of a sudden, Allah, he's also from there. So you see, he is not aware. So to me, it's the communication that is not there. And if it's there, maybe it's a loop on the they don't know it well. And for example, when we go to, when you are presenting the checks for GLE, you only go the officials. So why don't you also chip in with a mere member or just a normal member, just to accompany, to give that, picture of this is what we do in terms of GLE. You see, GLE will bring most members on board because there is a benefit. When you lose, you benefit. So insurance, they compensate loss. So now, such activities are going to bring more members into this group. And again, when he's producing his members or his, what do we call them, students, there has to be something, please make sure you join ROBA. It is here, the chairman is there, the contacts are this one. So they can have that, in a continuity in terms of, let me join ROBA. I'm sure even there are guys who left last year are not even aware. So it means our communication is a concern. That is my portion.
Thank you very much, Sister. FS, you want to have a response? think that I rest you. General response.
For Tadayo, I wanted to start from the IA. But it is good I shared this document. It's a good thing in RINGA, and this was shared with you in advance because we expected you to unfortunately didn't give it. But that is upon the members now to agree whether to expand the revenue base. It is not a mandate of the executive. Remember, even at the county level, it is illegal for the county government to impose taxes or revenue streams without carrying out public participation. So that I'll leave for this meeting. But specifically to Tadayo, the GLE expense is well supported by the GLE revenue, and it is specifically to the members who belong to the group. So at no point will we use members' funds for the GLE related expenses. They are well catered for, and it is like a semi-autonomous activity within ROBA. I think that response suffices. Thank you.
I think his concern was in the variation in the figures. Your income is less than the expense. So that's what he was asking.
That is noted. It will be amended. So if you adopt the report, it will be adopted with amendments. It's a valid concern. I agree.
I think that has been adopted. All this we now just enrich it. I would say that we are society, and it's started by saying we are not a profit-making entity.
Madam President, just before you do the summary, can I throw in a word?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. I think that we need to amend both the income and the expenses to conform with what CPMI had suggested, so that you see we stop showing humongous figures in terms of revenue, which are not revenue. We need to put there the net figure as our income, so that we don't get exposed in terms of taxes, as you say. So I think that should be one thing we need to factor as we amend the budget. Thank you.
That's agreed. So I was saying we are not profit-making entity, but we must be afloat to carry out basic requirements to enable ROBA run. And that's what we have always coped with. The profit-making wing we're now creating of the investments, which can now go into robust ways of making that profit and the revenue. On this other side, we just need to think of different models, but I would say that so far, our model of activity-based way of raising some funds to operate, to ensure administration and what, has been working so well with less hassle and very effective. Because people get motivated by activity, just like today's function, and those who come on it. So based on that is where some amount remains to run these basic things. And where we also ask that on the 5,000 non-refundable registration one-off, can we also now start seeing how it can be generating some small income to enable this administrative and these costs being taken care of? I would recommend that we retain that on this other way. On investment as well, let's go full throttle to make and people earn as much as can be done. His experience, what Ogok was saying, we've learned it from various institutions. And that's even why we crafted this model, how ROBA operates, which is strange for most organizations. But getting people, even if it's 200, starts creating our Jalifa, then administrative costs and what. But the activity-based has worked so well, and I would encourage, we do it. We can only make it by having more activities, which was being said. When you have more activities, you'll be getting more funds to let the account run. So that should be my recommendation. Yes, though you should speak up to the president.
I just wanted to comment on this.
Yes.
Never allowed after that.
That's allowed.
Before I do that, let me make a few remarks. Now, I got the concerns of CPM ahead in so far as registration fee, fixed registration fee of 5,000 is concerned. And my take would be, could we maybe, without bringing in subscriptions, can we stagger the money so that we attract those probably we are saying might not have the capacity immediately to register one-off at 5,000. So we can tell them it's staggered, like in 10 months, we can be patient enough to wait. And on the
I guess to answer that straight away.
Sorry?
I guess to answer you straight away, that in our report we have an attempt at staggering,
Correct.
which failed.
Yes.
So what will be different this time?
Well, maybe it was not modeled in that way.
So then that's what now you need to give us.
For how long did we start?
Yes.
No, we did stagger, but we gave them an grace period that they 3 months. So it's not maybe a crime to give it a different approach or try, because according to him, we were concerned about the new members, of whom probably I will maybe say here, the principal has given us a platform just a few minutes ago to go and market ROBA, and I was with you, and we told them that those who will be graduating here are potential members. You're welcome, because there are so many market benefits in joining ROBA. So, and again, to sell ROBA again, it attracts a budget for the publicity, marketing. So these things, they come at a cost. So we are willing, and I think we should take that route. How much are we willing to spend to market ROBA, to publicize it? Because we need to go into spaces, public spaces. Some of them, they come at a cost. So that one is worth considering. But again, I would suggest maybe we give them a leeway to stagger the registration fee.
Thank you.
I have one agenda.
Yeah, now you see why people should speak after the president was opening the floor.
Yeah.
But allow the two of you then close.
There's something.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. President. There's something.
Just we're giving you a chance shortly. Just hold on. We're giving the guys, two guys, Gipon first, then Udongo, then we come to Tadayo.
There's something, it is not coming out very clear, but it's in our hearts here about investment. Me being a member of the investment committee, there's something here. I hear from boss, Isdor. Members, what can we do that will make this thing lucrative? We know how ROBA was constituted. It is not a profit making. Mr. President. But now, there's something in our hearts that we want ROBA to do that make it lucrative. But now, the limitation is, how many people are registered as ROBA member so that we agree on a figure to put it lucrative so that we can move. Because the members are quitting. We are 36 members having produced 2,000, what is the saying, but we're not doing nothing. Now, the chairman, my chairman, Mr. Peter, is really willing for very many people to come so that when we have something, i.e. the accounts of ROBA investment, I don't know because I have an accountant here, can we go the CIC way, your money, through that Niniata to the register? Can it work? The accountants help me this. Hii money tuko nayo. See, unaweza register na CIC with only 5,000 and it plows back money to our account so that people see there's something lucrative here. Help me, brother. You had a very good concept.
Yeah.
Staggering and the rest, and where you can. Can we do it?
thank you for that. It's a good idea.
Yes.
Which is on the investment.
Yes.
And I would recommend let's subject it to the investment group.
Thank you.
Committee and group.
Thank you.
Yes, Ulungu.
Me, I only have one word on this matter of membership. We have been, our argument has been revolving around this membership for a very long time. But until we start doing something on this investment thing, then people will just be attracted. Until we start, we subject ourselves and we start doing something about the gate, people will be seeing that this gate at one place, if it is done neatly, it is written, done by Old Bob, the people will just come on board because people will always try to identify with success. But when they see that the team is a bit dormant, then they will shy off. So it is us who are on the spanner wheel. We should get moving very quickly with the little resources we have.
Thank you. Thank you very much, George. I think we close with those comments. They are specific on the investment. Tadayo.
Are you closing the meeting or just a
No, just this discussion on the budget, because you are right on the budget. Though it is reminded me of two things. Tadayo.
My comment, I have maybe one or two.
And I hope it's about the budget.
Yeah, the budget, it's just about the budget.
Thank you.
On the budget, there's the element of the budget that has been proposed as part of 2024.
Yeah, 2023.
It's the bit of the exams. I am trying to find out whether it is part of the four of them, which will close to 10,000 each.
20,000 each. 20,000 each.
Is it 20,000? Oh, 20,000 each. It should come to 8, yes.
Yes.
I must be slotted for the first one next time.
No, they have to be done between now and before they do their KCSE. Or next time. I've been told next time is still okay. Thank you for adopting one. We'll call it Tadayo exams.
Yes. Oh, no. Right.
Yes, sir. We'll get the language.
It's like you can't write my name.
But thank you for adopting one of 20,000.
Yeah, that is one.
Good.
From wherever I have analyzed, our ROBA falls within what we call mutual trading kind of transactions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the law is changing because even members' clubs are running business enterprises within their clubs.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to separate those operations from subscriptions, what your subscriptions do, the money that you contribute, and the money that you have annually contributed.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they do, those operations should be completely separate. If you want to invest and earn so much, probably maybe it is through ROBA that you want to make well. Then make them completely separate so that people don't suffer, because you will not find everybody everywhere in the ROBA basket. So my advice would be, so that you don't run into problems that you make them completely separate.
Thank you very much. I think that's valuable. We'll still be consulted more to work together with FS and audit in terms of creating. Actually, we wanted to say we know a new finance act. If it comes in, it has new issues as well. So you're preparing so that members are protected.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Tara.
Thank you.
But one thing was coming out here, which we may also probably pass a resolution that there is a need to create a category for students. I also liked what Chief Principal told us on the sidelines, that it's an easier way, creating a linkage from now to when they go out, because they now have that linkage to those who wants to upgrade to full membership. So in principle, we can agree that we create that, we just agree what amount they pay. It can be left at the group work on, but it can also be proposed here, whether it's 500 bob rows, and it starts even when we meet them later today. Whoever is ready to register, subject to when the constitution will be amended, is allowed, because we don't have student membership, we have just others. I don't know what members think.
I think in the interest of time, we leave that to the executive. We must be cognizant of the time now.
Thank you.
We don't have to late.
Thank you.
But it's a constitutional.
Excuse me?
It has to be
Yes.
members, not
Yeah, but you see,
Let's have one. Let's have one.
Coming back
Principal is
at a
talking.
time when you've done a lot, you've said a lot, so excuse me if I go outside the room. But I want to make an observation based on what you are. We can have the voice that we proposed one time to them. Not that in last year, when the years we proposed to them, the process of their parents. They can do something. See, when it was moved 5, that changed my thinking. If they figure like 1,000, then they can easily join on. We can make it part of city regulation that as they get to Form 4, then they pay some 1,000 for registration into school position. Nobody will reject that. Nobody will reject it. That's one way of getting them. But if it is 5, that is big.
Yeah.
1,000 they can do. 500 has no economic sense in me. Then there's something I want to share with you. It may not really look good. I don't know where you have learned to say it, but it's good that I shared. Comparatively, our association appears different from other alumni institutions, almost in all schools. Fortunately or unfortunately, our alumni association has the top pillar as welfare, I put it that way. All alumni associations have their top pillar as giving back to their alma mater. That is what brings them together, that within that kind of focus, they can now pull out different things like investment, like what do you call it, GL, those GLs, they come up as SAP. But what brings them together, the focal point is, I just use the word, giving back to the alma mater. You look at the strong alumni you talk about, that is what brings them together. Because I'm sure, even amongst us, it will not be possible to bring people on board when it comes to this investment of people. People will come, it will not bring people together. What brings us together is now we are taking back to RINGA, giving back to alumni, So we are doing that project that you are talking about. Written, done by ROBA. There are people who take pride in that. Because again, that is a way of immortalizing yourself. Who tells you we get immortalized by welfare? You cannot. By dead things, no? You benefit when you go. It only offloads you kidogo when you are grieved and you're still alive. But when you finally go, where you get the maximum benefit in course, you don't see the benefit. So I think we didn't get the correct orientation at that point. I didn't want to talk about it because I'm an interested party. It can be misunderstood. And I'm saying that because I'm the principal. But I think I would have said it strongly if I was outside this as a principal. any serious alumni association should focus first in giving back to the alumni. Whether you want to raise them in form of bursaries that you are doing, well and good. But you see now that bursary comes as number 3 in the paper.
I think
Whether you want
CP,
yes.
when we are here, as of today, you are an alumni member of 87.
Correct.
So put down the CP position and propose to us that you are talking to your fellow alumni.
That's what I'm saying. I still strongly believe, whether I'm here or not, that the first thing, the focal point should be giving back to the alma mater. That is what should bring us together. We should take pride in what we give. But you see, we looked at it that some of us are not at a disadvantage, so we want to sympathize with them. There is no way you're going to bring up your colleagues who are at a lower point. People will never be the same. And you can't equalize that, even through their training. So, I still believe they have got it wrong. You see, they have struggling with that. That's why they're struggling with this thing. If we are focusing on bringing back to the alma mater of the school, then I'm sure our meeting will have ended. But you see, we're handling more of a welfare meeting than an old boys meeting. We need to focus on that now that we have a constitution and everything. It will be important that we focus on this thing and change our main pillar. It is not the right thing. You can't have the main pillar as well. It doesn't work. I've not seen any institution where it works. Whether you go to Stare, whether you go to Kakamega, those are institutions that have very strong alumni associations. Whether you go to those girls' schools, we also have one at home. I'm lucky to be appearing in 2. We are very proud to be a member of ROBA. I'm also at the Alumni Association. And I remember we had one meeting where the key speaker was another alumni, very old one, but who had to fly all the way from New York to Mumbai School. That is Professor Cameron. He had to fly. You see, look at how they hold the position. Flying from, not for anything, not to come and see home, but because he was the chief guest. From New York to, and he was on duty, not that he was doing it at then, working with the World Health Organization. So he came and addressed us. The focal point and the pride is, I was in this dorm, I go to this dormitory, I go to Ayod, I go to, there's no green. Then you go there, you meet the boys there, and you encourage them as members of that dorm. You have the food you eat, but you also have your issues. When it comes to welfare, it is something like what we have. Actually, we are both. We have this one where you are calling it a formative action. You give to everybody, but that is now private. You open a private way. But we also have the insurance thing. But our insurance thing is cohort based. Because again, let me ask you a simple question. Do I know you? So even if I was to come and believe with you, there's no serious impact. I don't know. But if I were to go to believe with a coke, then you see there are things we talk.
I saw him in the way he goes to the office.
So you are saying, so if you put it at cohort level, and then the executive manages it from there, we can do it. Investment, in my opinion, is tricky. Much as we think we're getting there, investment is tricky. Because it may be very good for the new fresh alumni, but for the old ones, and many of you here are in that category, not very old like the old ones, the middle-aged guys, huh? And that's what I'm seeing here. You already having your tentacles, investment tentacles. Huh? You know, getting to one area that is starting at a toddler stage may not be very attractive. So much as they are not talking about it, I don't think it is very easy. It has never been easy. In the other one that I am a member, we just say, those who like it, we are like we formed yours. Huh? We form it, those who want it, join it, but it's not part of the alumni thing. So the alumni gave them an environment where they could form their other clubs. But our focus when we meet, that's the truth of the matter. And many of them are picking up. Beta is not picking up from nowhere and the Watekas. No, it's not young. It's also old. Agoroza is almost picking up now that they have an MST and another class. So, unfortunately, here, you guys, I don't know what you're doing. But you don't want to. You also like hiding so much. I know the president is supposed to be public, but he's also hiding. And a number of you, even my elder there, you are the one who's talking there, probably from KRA. Why do they hide? I've been struggling with KRA issues here. KRA experts, among ROBA here. So you can even give back to the school. I just come in. I've been struggling. You know, you can come back and give back in that form by just giving advice to the school.
Talk to me.
President, maybe he is getting me out of context.
No, he's also joking.
Oh, yeah. that is part of RINGA. So what I'm saying, we have people here who are resourceful. Actually, I've learned a few things about most of our members, in and outside the country. There are so many ways by which you can give back to the school. Otherwise, even helping the management of the school, who tells you that we know everything. We are ignorant in so many areas, and we have technical people in different areas. You can help us with the pieces of advice, with even the technical advice. Like I was looking for the architects. You know, maybe chairman, we may need to run this thing so that we know whom do we have in which sector. Good for our management, so that if in case we have an issue or a challenge somewhere and we need support or advice, then I know we have this guy here. Instead of going for somebody else who has no interest for the school. So finally, gentlemen, finally, you know, I'm sympathizing with you because I really think about the programs when I'm addressing this. But finally, my final is this. Think about why ROBA should exist and put it in the constitution. We are not on the right trajectory. We shall continue having problems. Because every time we meet, we shall be concentrating on welfare issues. We can't get it right. Let that be a side thing. Let us focus on the school. And there are so many things you can do to the school. That is my plea, President. Oh, finally, don't complain there. We have a very rich alumni. You talked of having noticed them. I wanted to volunteer that I'll get back to this office. The records are not very good because of some migration from another place to this place. But I'm going to get from every cohort at least 3 people that I'm able to identify who are still alive, give to you, possibly plus their phone numbers so that you can reach out to them and give them information about ROBA. We already have Professor Fernando I gave you of Egerton University, the one in charge of Egerton Nakuru campus. He's from Karachuan area and all of this school. It's very proud of this school. I'll get that list, maybe from around 70s to date, so that you can reach out to them. That is the best I can. Thank you. I'm sorry for taking that.
So it was quite useful and soul-searching comment. Even a cocoa I've seen is pensive as well on that. And I think membership I've had should be able to rethink on that, on why we formed this association and where we need to change to make it Thank you very much. And with that and the time factor, we could go to agenda item 11, Maher, that means. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Mr. President. When we stepped out with CPA Finance Secretary, we reminded ourselves that audit is a statutory obligation, and we ought to have agreed on who is going to be our auditor for the next financial year. Unfortunately, we do not have names. And I want to request that we defer this to the executive to talk about it and probably appoint somebody. But it is a statutory thing we cannot avoid. There are different schools of thought. The finance secretary, I have an audit fund, but I am conflicted. I can't be the auditor and at the same time a member. But even if I were to become an auditor, I would still charge. I think the issue is we have enough money for audit fees. We have to create, I've seen it in the budget, we have to create an allocation for audit fees every financial year. The only thing we can help do is probably help negotiate with these audit firms to charge us fairly, because we're still at formative stages. I can guide the executive on how to go about that.
Okay, members, you have any comment?
The executive trying to come up with more pragmatic.
100% to the Senate. Thank you very much. We go to the second last agenda before adjournment, where we're going to have elections conducted. They were to be done virtually, so I believe the board will be ready for that. But before I hand over to them, Chairman Akoko to Uganda, you indicated that there was going to be some awards to some members here. Maybe we can issue those now. Then I hand over to the election advisor how we proceed. So you said we have two categories of certificates. We issued the one for the members who are here. There is one for certificate of education, those who are supporting and have not been official. Which I will give.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I'm privileged and honored to make this declaration, recognize our members who have given outstanding support and commitment in the old boys. So without wasting too much time, let me go quickly to that. And I want to do that on standing, with your permission. First, to be recognized for his dedication today, this evening, is none other than Chief Principal Austin Muma Okelo. You are being given this certificate in honor of your outstanding support and commitment during the All Boys Association in the period of 2019 to 2023. Can we give him a round of applause?
It's okay. We can get it through here.
Makofi tena.
Songeni hivi. Songa karibu na yeye. Okay.
Thank you. In no particular order, it's also my pleasure to recognize Daniel Ayodo in honor of your outstanding support and commitment to RINGA All Boys Association for the period of 2019 to 2023. Thank you so much. You know, I don't know whether it was by coincidence or what, I'm inviting another Jatugo. Probably they were in the same team together and they brought a lot of pride to the school. The certificate of dedication is being awarded to one Japheth Nielanyangweso in honor of your outstanding support and commitment to RINGA Old Boys Association for the period of 2019 to 2023. Let me go. It was too close to the kitchen, eh? Thank you so much. Congratulations. Finally, we are also recognizing one Teddy Omondi Ndege. So are you going to take a photo of yourself? Teddy Umandege, this is given in honor of your outstanding support and commitment to RINGA All Boys Association for the period of 2019 to 2023. Oh, yeah, for the records. Thank you. The other members who have been awarded the same certificates, but they are not present here today, but I think it's noteworthy that we mention them for the records again, and for members to get to know as well here. There is a certificate of dedication awarded to one Dr. Matthew Ochieng Owili. Dr. Willie. We have one Stephen Odiwuor Otieno. We are also recognizing one Dr. Josh Okelo Alo. We are recognizing Professor Maurice Otieno Odago. We are recognizing Engineer John Opay Ogalo. We are also recognizing Dr. Daniel Otieno Aoi. And finally, we are recognizing Tadayo Nyabwa Mitoko. Can we hand it over online? Tada, are you with us? Yeah, you've seen your certificate? Thank you so much. He's here, he'll bring it to you. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Jafet, you can lead for the other category. And for the other category, we may ask the host to be the presenter. This for the service.
Thank you, President. The Commission allow me to present the certificate to William Wokndale. The Commission, the outstanding service and the contribution to ROBA from 2019 to 2023. Well, the next one is Jacob Ochieng Akoko. We have the next.
Always.
We are the oldest. Tadai neno.
The next one is Dennis Odhiambo Arogo. That's the Finance Secretary.
The tallest man.
The next one is Paul Maher Kolo, the internal auditor.
You audit.
And then the next one is Peter Ochieng Jabuya. This one was our Then we have the next one is the next one is Welfare Secretary Leo Aurora Chuonyo.
Thank you so much.
The next one is Nyanza Regional Representative, Brother Tom Boyaweti, who's my class, that's classmate. Then the next one is Richard Otieno Ogendo, the 1992 cohort. That was one who took after Peter Lebuya. And then we have Rogers Otieno Owiti, Then we have Logistics Secretary Paul Otieno, CMO. And then we have the Secretary General, Walter Allo Leke.
No nonsense, man. It's a school principle.
And then the last one is our President, Collins Umundi Uwo.
Thank you very much. I hand over to you for the election.
We'll be very brief. You want that? Yeah. As we are not intimidated by positions, we can operate from here.
Focus on you.
So it can come.
Enda kwa hizo kitu imeandikwa roba.
One more Thank you. Good afternoon, members. We've been given this onerous task of conducting the elections. And after having our meeting as the board, and with the situation we find ourselves in, with the situation we find ourselves in, the numbers, we had a meeting and we have got two proposals. One is that we are at this nascent stage, we are still early, and the numbers are not improved even in the cohorts. And we find it very difficult even through this election when numbers are few. So our first proposal was that we have a continuation of the office as is now, of even the cohorts. So we'll ask that we get a proposal and a second one. And then we have the second bit is that we conduct elections no matter how few or complicated or conflicted we are. So those are the two proposals we have. Will be guided by you. So the first proposal is we have a continuation of the cohorts as they are. So I need a proposal.
I would propose that we retain the office.
We retain, yes, yeah, that's what I did by that. Those are semantic.
Your mandate is to do election.
That's not an election.
Your mandate is to do the conduct election.
That's a form of election.
That's a form of election.
So for purposes of recording,
yes,
it says this number,
yes,
then when what? I propose.
yes.
So that is second.
That is second.
Yes.
Now, you're taking when a secretary for
See, it is no, lakini unafundisha.
so it needs to be in the minutes. Okay, now we've been taken back. Let's declare that all seats have now been vacant. They are now vacant and the office is dissolved. Thank you. Now after that is when we go to what we say at our proposal. The office is dissolved and our first proposal is that we retain the members of the current office, starting with the cohort. We need even contribution from online guys. Yes, for us to online. So I guess yeah, now you are not in the member, just comment. Yes.
Now that we have been given two approaches to this election, I want to believe that we will provide the electoral authority. I want to support that we adopt where we bring back all the members as existing. Take the focus as the one. That is the focus of letter number 8, or 87, registered 19.
Thank you. Can we get a second? No, don't put that. You mean the second? No. Before the president wanted to give you the former president.
Because if you ask me, maybe for the sake of trying to face same or distance, you can quickly adopt that because people are in a hurry saying what goes on. Can you just allow the outgoing force? Can we go somewhere and then discuss as one by one? If you are going to retain you, so that you are not trying to make the voice. Because one of us has been the weakest thing and then we feel like we don't want to do it.
Thank you, see, but now you've gone before. Because we want to have this, then we move to that step you're telling us. Yeah.
Why I've said that, I can see you're in a rush to make quick decisions.
Not really. Anyway,
I've said that and I've created